All right, I'm letting a few more people come in. Welcome, welcome everybody. So glad that you guys are joining me this Wednesday evening. I always am appreciative of you guys um showing up. I know you guys could be anywhere. Um it's the middle of the work week. So I appreciate you guys tapping in with me today. All right, let me get my screens together. All right, welcome everybody. So for everybody that's just tapping on, let everybody know it's not a lot of people on today. Let everybody know in the school community and let everybody know on Telegram that we're live, we're about to get started. So I'm excited for this class because I'm getting ready to show you guys how you can generate leads regardless of what type of budget you have. So for the last 2 or 3 weeks, I'm pretty much just showing you guys how to like set the foundation from the beginning to the end. So first we talked about setting up your LLC, all of the foundational stuff, picking your real estate market, different stuff that you want to look for when you're picking your real estate market. Last week I showed you guys how to pull lists, how to get access to thousands of potential sellers in just a few minutes. So now I'm going to show you guys after you pull those lists, after you get those phone numbers, what are some different strategies that you can use to start marketing? All right. So remember when we talked about setting up your business structure, and there's these 5 roles that either you have to play or you're going to partner with other people. So you got your CEO, you have your marketing manager, lead manager, acquisitions manager, and dispo. So right now, today, we're going to focus on the marketing. You're wearing your marketing manager your hat today. So we want to figure out, okay, we have all of these people, these addresses, these phone numbers. How do I get people to know to reach out to me when they're ready to sell their storage facility or when they're ready to sell their apartment building or laundromat or whatever type of property it is you're looking for? You want people to be able to know to reach out to you, right? So I'm gonna break down, let me see how many strategies I have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 different strategies that you can start generating leads in front of you. And I'm going to start with the free way that doesn't cost you anything. And then I'm going to go all the way up to the paid way. So the difference is that I briefly talked about this last week with the free ways. You're not going to, thank you. I almost forgot to record. So with the freeways, you're not going to have to spend any money. It's going to save you some money, but you're going to spend a lot more time working in your business. Like this will be perfect for somebody who maybe doesn't have a 9 to 5, or you have a 9 to 5 where you're really not doing anything all day and you have access to a computer and Wi-Fi. This will be good for somebody like that. But this is where I want you to guys to start thinking like investors and thinking like business owners. All right, I'm going to show you some free ways all the way up to some paid ways. And the paid ways, of course, it's going to cost you some money. It's going to be an investment. But number one, these are all tax write-offs. Remember, if you got your LLC and everything set up the right way, everything that you're spending is tax write-offs. And then also you're not spending so much time working in the business. You're going to focus more of your time on the more important stuff, evaluating deals, going to see the property, closing the deal, that type of stuff. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started. So I'm gonna start with the free way. I'm gonna start with the free way that you can generate leads, and I'm gonna go up to the paid way. So let me share my screen really quickly. And if you guys have any questions throughout this presentation, definitely raise your hand, drop your questions in the chat, come off mute. Real quick, so before I forget, this Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern, I'm having a bonus class where I'm going to deep dive into how to evaluate self-storage facilities. I know I teach you guys this all the time, but this class on Friday, I'm actually going to teach you how to look for projections and pro forma and things like that. So I'm going to really deep dive into it. So for anybody that wants to join that bonus class, it is a paid class. It's $49, I believe. $49. I'm going to drop the link so you guys can tap in with me again. This is this Friday at 7 p.m. And for those who still want the information but aren't able to make it, you could always you'll get the recording. So I just dropped the link for that. All right. So without further ado, I'm gonna get started. I want to pull up a list real quick. Let me see if I can find a list that has some phone numbers. Give me 1 second, you guys. Give me 1 second. So for those who hopped on a little bit late, I was explaining that I'm going to walk everybody through how to generate leads. After you've pulled your list, you've gotten your phone numbers, you figured out what markets you want to be in, you went on PropStream, you went on Reonomy, or you went driving for dollars, and now you have a list of addresses and phone numbers. Now you have to figure out, okay, who's ready to sell, or you want to get these people to start calling you when they're ready to sell. All right. Give me 1 second, so I'm just trying to find something. All right, I'm not gonna find it on this computer. All right, so let's get started. So I'm gonna start with the first way that you could generate leads that's absolutely free, that's not gonna cost you anything, is to you take the list of phone
Legend,
numbers.
stop taking the stuff off the fridge.
So the free way that's not gonna cost you anything is that if you pull the list off of PropStream, you pull the list, you skip trace to get the phone numbers, and you cold call that list yourself. All right. So if you don't mind cold calling, if you could sit on the phone and you could dial, you know, 300-400 numbers per day. Well, actually, I think you want to set yourself up on a dialer. It makes it easier. But if you don't mind cold calling, then trust me, you got deals for days. That's somebody who doesn't mind doing that. All right. So it doesn't cost you anything. All you do is you pull. Of course, you have to invest in your systems to get your list and to skip trace it, but you don't have to pay anybody. You don't have to pay a VA. You take that list and you call at least 300 people per day. All right. So that's the absolutely free way where you sit on the phone and cold call. The next way that it's not free, but it's not going to cost you any money up front is where you partner with somebody else. All right. So you're the CEO no matter what, right? So you're still going to be the person to pull the list. You figure out your market, you're going to pull the list, you're going to get a skip trace, but maybe you have a family member or a friend, maybe you have like a nephew or a niece or a cousin or, a friend that wants to get involved in real estate or you want to get them involved. You want to partner with that person. All right. And instead of paying them an upfront salary, you just let them know, listen, you do the cold calling, you figure out who's wanting to sell their property. I'll do the acquisitions role. I'll get it under contract and whatever deals we close, we'll split the profit and make money together. All right. So you're not spending money up front, but pretty much you have somebody working off a commission. So that's the second way that you can generate leads. Number one is you cold call yourself. Number two is you partner. You could partner with somebody in the community, partner with a family member, a friend, have them cold call for you, and then you do the acquisitions part. All right. So that's two ways. That's not going to cost you anything. The third way is a direct mail template. So I'm gonna share my screen real quick. This, I'm not gonna say this is free, but you can do this for like maybe a couple $100 or less. So for anybody who purchased my bundle of contracts and scripts, you have this direct mail template. It's right here. This is for storage direct mail template. You could reword it for apartment buildings, single family homes, laundromats, whatever type of properties you're looking for. But this comes inside of that bundle. So you don't have to use this word for word, but this is called a direct mail template. So anytime you want to send out a letter, this is just one form of marketing. It's called direct mail. So instead of making phone calls or sending text messages, you can send a letter to that person, say, hey, if you're interested in selling your property, give me a call. So that's pretty much what this template is. It's just letting the person know, I'm an investor. Give me a call if you want to sell your property. All right. So this way is cheap because when you pull a list off a PropStream, I'm trying to see if I can find a list. When you pull a list off a PropStream, it's gonna have the property owner's address. All right. It's gonna have the address of the property, but it's also gonna have their mailing address where they receive mail. So all you have to do is take that list, take that same template, and all you got to do is just fill in the template's already written out for you. You just have to fill in the address, the name of the person, and you just mail off those templates. So let's say you pull a list of 5,000 people. I would say every week send out maybe 1,000 letters and do that from your computer. So think about it. If you have this template that you guys have already gotten from me, you print out that template. If you have a printer, you can do it at home. If not, you can do it from Office Max. It may cost you $50 to print out. I don't know how much, maybe 50, a couple $100 to print out 1,000 copies. Get some envelopes, put the letters in the mail. You just want to address it, spend some time addressing it. and send those letters off. So it's not gonna, it may cost you a couple $100 between printer ink, maybe having to buy a printer. I think I bought my printer for like less than $100, or going to Office Depot. So it's gonna take you some time to fill in those templates, fill out those envelopes. But again, you're saving a lot of money. And believe it or not, you guys, direct mail is one of the most effective ways to generate leads. Cold calling works very well. Text messaging works very well. Direct mail works really, really well as well, especially for storage facilities, because a lot of people that own storage facilities, they're a little bit like they're in their 50s and a little bit older. So they're not really into the text messages. Like they just like to receive something in the mail. All right. So let me know if y'all got any questions. I want to make sure I'm not going too fast. Will you post the link for the contracts before in the class? Yes, Felicia. So I'm gonna drop the link one more time. This bundle, this link that I'm dropping in the chat right now for you to join my bonus class, you'll actually get that bundle. So it's $49. You're paying for the class, but you'll get the contracts, the scripts, and then you also get my ebook on wholesale and commercial real estate. So I just dropped the link again in the chat for you guys. All right. Is everybody following me so far? If you guys are following me, put follow in the chat. You're welcome. If you guys are confused or you need me to slow down or back up, let me know. You can come off mute or just let me know in the chat. All right, we good so far. All right, perfect, perfect.
I wanted
Sometimes
to
I
ask
talk.
you something.
Yeah.
This is Fedna. I wanted
Hey,
to ask
Fedna.
you, hi. What are your top two methods? I know you said direct mail is effective, but
So
direct mail, what else would you recommend?
honestly, I'm not gonna say one is better than the other. Direct mail is very effective. Text messages, very effective. I've done text messages. I have a partner right now who's doing that. Cold calling works really, really well. Cold calling is actually my favorite way because at the end of the day, you have to get the person on the phone, whether you're sending text messages or direct mail, you still have to talk to that person. So Fedna, to be honest, Fedna, am I saying it correctly? Your name?
Yes, yes, you are.
Okay. To be honest, one isn't better than the other. It's just I've noticed like over the last 5 years, you just want to switch it up sometimes. So like for a while we were doing direct mail. We did that for a year. Then at one point we switched it up, did text messaging. We've been doing cold calling a lot lately. For those who want to do fix and flips, I don't know if I'm saying it right. Bandit signs work really good for flips and fixes. So yeah, there's not one that's better than the other, but the ones that I named just now are all really effective that I've done.
Okay.
All right. All right. You don't see the link? Oh, shoot. I apologize, you guys. I dropped it in the wrong part. Give me 1 second. Okay. I just dropped the link one more time. So the link, I'm gonna just, sorry, y'all gonna hear me keep saying it. The class is on Friday. I'm having a bonus class this Friday. If you're in if you're in the mobile leads acquisitions group, you guys are automatically gonna get into this class. But for anybody who wants me to go into a deep dive on evaluating storage facilities, I'm gonna go into how to look at pro forma and projections. I've never taught a class like this before. But once you join that bonus class, you'll get the bundle of contracts, the scripts, my ebook. So yeah, you'll have all of that stuff. All right, so I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep going. So first three that I talked about, generating leads for free. You can just cold call yourself. You cold call that list yourself, but you got to be honest with yourself. I think Ramel was talking about this on a call last night. You got to be honest with yourself about what it is that you are willing to do and what you're not willing to do. So if you don't have the mental capacity to cold call 300 people per day, delegate that. Don't put that on yourself because then you won't be successful. So partner with somebody else. So number one, you do it yourself. Number two, you partner with somebody, have them cold call, you do acquisitions, and you guys split the commission. Number three is the direct mail template. I highly recommend you guys use that direct mail template. All right. The next one, number four is, and for those of you who are in MMA, that template is also inside. I think you guys already have that. Okay, so my next one is I'm gonna share my screen. For those who hopped on late, I'm just teaching everybody how they could generate leads for free all the way up to some paid ways. So my next one is this website. Go on, it's called Fiverr.com, Fiverr. So on this website, you could find anybody to do virtually anything for you. All right. So what you want to do is you can find somebody to cold call. Okay. So this is a paid way, very inexpensive. All right. And as I go through these ways, you guys just remember you get what you pay for. I'm going to give you guys the pros and the cons to everything. So you go on this website and you type in real estate cold caller. All right. And then you'll find a bunch of people that pop up that do real estate cold calling. So for this option right here, you're pretty much going to hire somebody to cold call for you. All right. So the pros about this is that it's very inexpensive. You have people look $20 an hour, 25 an hour, $30 an hour. All right. So it's very inexpensive. This is not your employee. So you don't have to worry about hiring or firing anybody. It's just they're providing a service for you. So that's the positives about it, is that you're saving a whole lot of money. The downside to using Fiverr is that because this is not your employee, you can't really control too much of what they do. So I've heard horror stories where sometimes people will hire somebody to cold call for them, and then instead of giving them the leads, they're, giving them to somebody else that they're working for. So you just have to try these people out. So what I would do is I would go on Fiverr, type in real estate cold caller, and I would look for somebody that has like at least a 4.8, 4.9 reviews. And I want somebody that had at least 100 reviews. Look, this person has 656 reviews, $25. All right, so let's click on this one. He says, I will do 200 real estate cold calling or more with the USA cold caller. So this guy, for $25, he will cold call 200 or more phone numbers. All right. So if you're going to cold call, whether you or you hire somebody to do it, you want them to cold call, I would say a minimum of 300 numbers, anywhere between 2 to 300, but you really want them to aim for 300, not 300 numbers, 300 people per day. All right. So he will dial 200 or more people per day for $25. He'll set appointments. He does SMS, so text messaging. He has 656 reviews, 4.8. So I would be confident trying this guy out. So what I would do is if I were to hire somebody off of Fiverr, I'm not sure. So he's in Pakistan, okay? So what I would do is I would set up this guy, and instead of hiring him and giving him a list of like 5,000 people, this is how you want to test them out first. So I would give him a list of just like maybe 300 people. I would just give him one short list, give him 300 people. And then what I would do is I would add my name and my phone number on that list. I would add my brother, my mom, a couple of my friends, maybe like 4 or 5 people, myself, and then like maybe another 4 people. I would add our names and phone number on that list. That way I know he's really doing his job. So if I give this guy this list of cold call, I should get a phone call, my mom should get a call, my brother should get a call. So I would do that, okay? And then once they cold call, by the end of the day, if they cold call about 2 to 300 people, they should have generated anywhere between 1 to 3, maybe even 5. I would say anywhere between 1 to 5 leads for you. Then you want to call all of those leads back and make sure that they were actually like really like good leads that they sent you. So I would give him $25 to do one list. If he did good that one list, then I'll go ahead and send him, maybe I'll hire him for like a week. Okay, so now I'm gonna send you $125 to cold call for me for 5 days. I would still test them out a little bit, put some, phone numbers of people that I know just to make sure we're getting the calls. So that's how I would do it if I would hire somebody on Fiverr. Like I said, you get what you pay for. So if you get somebody, you give them $25 and you don't even get a phone call, you just kind of got to chalk that up as a loss. It's only $25, but it's worth a shot. So that's another way that you guys can generate these. All right. Anybody got any questions so far? Let me see. Let me check the chat. Follow. Okay. If you are new, find someone that can use help. There's a lot of things that we can do from cold calling and searching from leads and teaming up. Yes, Tony, I'm glad that you said that. I really want you guys to start partnering with each other. It helps a lot. I started doing it by myself, but when I started partnering with people, it just made it so much easier. Linus, can someone repost the link for Friday's class? Yep, I will drop it in the chat right now. Linus, you're good. You're in the moguls. Okay, I'm gonna drop the Zoom link inside of our Telegram chat.
Got
Yep.
it.
You guys said you still don't see a link. All right, let me drop it again. You see the link in the chat? Let me know if you guys see it. Okay. All right. I apologize. I don't know what I was doing, but that's the link for Friday's bonus class. Again, if you're in the Mogul Leads and Acquisitions group, you don't have to, you're good. You don't have to worry about it. You'll get in there. King Marquez, you got a question?
Yes, ma'am. Hey, Double R. I'm not as familiar with Fiverr. So is there a way when you're on the platform and you're looking to outsource those calls? Because I do know that you have people sometimes from other countries that are on there. Is there a way that there's some kind of rating for like their English proficiency or things of that nature?
On Fiverr, no, the only thing you could do is look at the reviews. But what I would do is I would just ask if they could, because you can communicate. Let me share my screen again. Before you hired a person to do a job for you, you could actually send messages and communicate back and forth. So I would contact me, ask a question. You have to sign in and everything. But what I would do is I would just ask him do you have any recordings of either yourself or your VAs cold calling just so I could hear an English accent? That's what I would do. I would just ask for a recording.
Very good. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. All right. So I'm gonna keep going, you guys. I hope you guys are finding this valuable. So let me keep pushing. So the next one, all right. So now we have hiring somebody on Fiverr. That'll cost you $25 a day. So that's 125 a week. So that's about $500 per month. If you were to hire somebody, remember, you just want to look to make sure they have at least 100 reviews and then at least like a 4.8, 4.9 out of 5. All right. So the next one is you could send out ringless voicemails. All right. So with Fiverr, this will run you about $500 a month. This will cost you about the same ringless voicemail. So for those who don't know what this is if you guys have ever gotten a voicemail, or you've seen a missed call and you're like, Dad, my phone never rang. That's what ringless voicemail is. So it's pretty much a service where it'll ring your phone one time, you'll see a missed call, and then you'll check your voicemail. So what you can do is the way this works is you pre-record a voicemail. So you have to sign up for your account. You'll pre-record a voicemail and it says, Hey, Mr. Seller, my name is Harry. I'm looking to purchase some apartment buildings in the area. And I see you own a couple investment properties. If you're thinking about selling anything, please give me a call. My phone number is 823, So you just record a general message like that. And then that voicemail will get blasted out to, if you have a list of 5,000 people, it'll get sent to all 5,000. If you have a list of 1,000, however big your lists are. But you want to try to average about 1,000 people per day that you're sending this stuff out to. All right. So the pros about sending out ringless voicemail is that it's very, again, inexpensive. This will probably cost you, again, maybe $20. You'll be able to reach out to a few thousand people. Very inexpensive, it's not time consuming at all. You record the message one time and you pretty much just sit at your computer and wait for people to respond or give you a call back. All right. The downside to ringless voicemail and why I really don't recommend this, but I'm just trying to give you guys option on a budget is because a lot of people don't check their voicemail. Like think about it. How often do you check yours? I know if I'll see a missed call, and I'll just look at the number and not recognize it and probably just don't even call back before I actually check the voicemail. So that the downside is that a lot of people don't really check their voicemail. But this is one way that you can reach out to potential sellers. This is another way you can reach out to cash buyers. You can reach out to realtors when you're trying to market your deal. All right, so ringless voicemail. The next one is a text message campaign. This is how I got my first deals under contract. So you guys can use this website called Batch. Batch for text messaging, I think you have to use batchleads.com. But what I used to do is you send out text messages and you have to have about the same budget, maybe about five to $700 per month. And what you do is you'll just write a text message, you'll write it out one time. And then the system, you upload the list to your system. The system will send out however many text messages you set it. So I used to set mine to send out like 1,000 text messages per day. And a text message would just say, hey, and then it would say the person's name, hey, Mary, I see you own 123 Main Street. Are you thinking about selling? And I'll I'll just sit at my computer, watching TV, and I'll see text messages come through saying, what's your offer? Remove my phone number, or call me in 6 months, stuff like that. So this is another way. Again, you want to have a budget about $500 to $700. There's a lot of different platforms that you can use to send out text messages. The one that I used to use, they don't work with real estate entrepreneurs anymore, but I do recommend Batch because with Batch, if you use their text message marketing, your skip tracing is free. So skip tracing can add up, like that's when you get phone numbers. But if you use Batch, your skip tracing is 100% free and you get really good data. So I would recommend using them for sending out your text message campaign. I also got a gem for you guys. Remind me at the end of this call for skip tracing. I came across something that will save you guys a lot of money with that. I'm gonna make a note to tell you guys that at the end of the call. All right. All right, so now we're up to, so we started off free. Now we're up to maybe having a budget of around $500 per month. So that's Batch, sending out text messages. The next one is going to cost you a little bit more. This would be hiring a VA. Onlinejobs.ph. So this is a website called onlinejobs.ph where you can hire similar to Fiverr, but you can hire anybody. These are virtual assistants that live in the Philippines. And again, you can hire them to do virtually anything for you. The difference between this and Fiverr is Fiverr, you're just hiring somebody to do a one-time service or, whatever type of service it is. For online jobs, this is actually going to be your employee. All right. So what you're going to do is this is kind of like Indeed or, like those websites where they look for talent. So you can either look for talent. Let's see, looking for talent. So you can search resumes. I'm going to do real estate cold caller. I'm going to type in commercial real estate cold caller. Commercial real estate cold caller, and then you hit search. And these are all people that are looking for that yellow markers. These are all people that are looking for jobs. All right. So you can look at their profile, see what type of experience they have. So okay, $12 or 12 hours per day. $6 per hour. So for somebody like this, you could expect to spend anywhere between $4 to $6 per hour. Anywhere between $4 to $6 per hour. I typically wouldn't hire anybody who's asked for less than $5 an hour just because I've noticed that the quality of work isn't the best. So I'll go up to $6 an hour. So like somebody like this, let's click on her. $6 an hour. She's only looking for part-time work, 12 hours per day. She has her bachelor's degree, so she's talking about some of her experience. She does outbound cold calling. She's done some e-commerce, technical support. These are people that have rated her in the past from her skills. All right, so you guys can scroll through here and you can hire a cold caller. So let's do the math. If you hire a full-time cold caller, $5 per hour, full-time cold caller, $5 per hour, that's what, 40 hours per week? multiply that by 4 weeks. So that's about $800, between $800 and $900 per month, where you can have your own employee. Also, inside of this bundle, I gave you guys a script on how to interview cold callers. So I'm gonna actually run through this right now, because if you decide to go this route, there's some questions that you want to ask. So you could either scroll through it right here and you would look for job postings, or you can post a job. So similar to how you go on LinkedIn or Indeed, you just want to like, I would just say, just go on Google and say, real estate cold caller job posting. And then you could just, tweak it, make it your own, and you could post saying that you're hiring for a real estate cold caller. You could even hire an acquisitions manager. So a cold caller is a person who's going to generate the leads. You can hire another person who does acquisitions to get the properties under contract. It's going to cost you a little bit more. So let's say you post a job on onlinejobs.ph. You let them know you're looking for a cold caller. I've done this before, so I'm gonna let you guys kind of know what my process was. I posted a job, and I had probably like a good 40 to 50 people respond to that job posting, all saying that they, were interested in the position. And out of those 40 to 50 people, I want to say half of them, maybe 25 of them, they actually had real estate cold calling experience. All right. So now I'm just kind of narrowing it down. So out of those 25 people that had experience, maybe I would say 10 of them, maybe 10 of them had like just a really strong resume, right? Just a really strong resume, good experience. Out of those 10 people, I might see like 5 of them that'll actually send me a recording. I think Marquez, you asked about that earlier. They sent me a recording so that I could actually hear that their English accent was good. All right. So out of those 5 people that sent me a recording, what you're going to do is you're going to email all 5 of those people. You're going to say, hey, let's set up a job interview for, Friday at 3 p.m. And then you'll set up all 5 job interviews, only like 15-minute interviews, just set them up on the same day. Out of those 5 people, probably like only 3 of them will show up, because either the other 2, they either forgot or they accepted other jobs, whatever the case may be. So out of those 5, you might have 3 of them show up. And then I have some interview questions, right? So these are just, I'm not going to go through all of the interview questions, but these are some, like, the main questions that you want to ask when you're looking for to hire a cold caller. All right. So of course you want to ask about their employment, what their experience is with cold calling. As far as their previous employment, you want to ask them, why are they no longer working with the last real estate company that they work for? Right. And you just want to make sure it's nothing that they did wrong. So they may say something like, oh, the company, they weren't making enough money. They didn't have a budget to pay us. The company had to shut down. Like something like that's not their fault. So that's totally fine. You just want to know why they're not with that company anymore. Some other questions you want to ask is how they handle seller objections. You want to know how many calls can they do per day. And the answer that you're looking for is you want them to be able to cold call between 200 to 300 people per day. All right. And out of those 200 to 300 people, how many leads can you generate per day? And you want them to generate, if it's a full-time cold caller, you want them to generate anywhere between, like, I would say 3 to 5 leads per day. A part-time cold caller, 1 to 2 leads per day. All right. You also want to ask, how many calls per day? How many qualified leads can you generate per day? You want to ask them, are they familiar with, so if you're going to be setting them up on a CRM, Podio, if you're going to set them up on a dialer, you just want to make sure that they're familiar with the systems. All right. So that's just, you guys can screenshot that, but that's also a script that you could use. So those are like there's more questions that you want to ask. I actually have a video posted in the school community with me interviewing a cold caller, but those are like the main important questions that you want to ask. Let me pause for questions. King Harry, yes.
I was kind of curious to evaluate your caller. I mean, when you doing the interviews, and they say that you said you want them to be able to make a certain amount of calls. How many calls can a person make per day? How to just know that they're not BSing you or nothing like that. How many can a person make per day, and how per hour or whatever.
Right. So for if you're hiring somebody full time to work with you for 8 hours per day, you want them to call like a minimum of 200, but really like 300 people per day. All right. So if they can do 300 people per day, then that's pretty solid. When I was cold calling, and I set myself up on a dialer, I was reaching out to, I would think I was doing like around 1,000 phone numbers per day. It still equaled out to about 300 people per day, but each one of those people, they had like multiple phone numbers. So when I was cold calling, on average, I was dialing about 200 numbers per hour. All right. So if you can do 200 numbers per hour, if you set them up on a dialer, they should be able to get through about, on average, about 200 numbers per hour.
So in an hour, what's the maximum amount of people you can probably call per
Um, so again, if you're hand dialing, that I'm not sure. I'm gonna be honest because I've never just dialed by hand, but on a dialer per hour, you said per hour, is that what you asked?
Yeah, per hour. So you can
Per
just like,
hour, I would average about 200 phone numbers per hour on a dialer.
okay.
Yeah, but if they're hand dialing, I wouldn't expect them to dial like more than 300 numbers per day.
Okay.
Got it. All right.
Yep.
All right. Good questions. Good questions. Queen Trey, you got a question? Or I'm sorry, King Trey, you got a question?
Yeah, how we doing? Um, so far as with the virtual assistants, you said they can do the calls and they can also do the acquisition part too.
You can. So that would be more than one virtual assistant. Let me share my screen really quickly. Let me find it. Online jobs. Here we go. Onlinejobs.ph. So you can look for a real estate cold caller. You could also look for real estate. You type in acquisitions manager. You may find a cold caller who has experience with both cold calling and acquisitions. So this person, she says she's a real estate acquisitions manager. Real estate acquisition specialist. So that means you would have to have two cold callers. You would have to have one that's doing the lead management for you, and then you're gonna hire another that's gonna do acquisitions for you. There are some that might be able to do both. Like this guy, let's just say hypothetically, he can do both. You would probably just pay him a little bit more. Like instead of $5, you probably pay him like $8 or $9 an hour to do both. But yes, you could hire lead virtual assistants to do pretty much the whole thing. But I just want to did that answer your question? I'm sorry.
Yeah, is which do you suggest? Do you think that's like the best way to go? If they can get it on the contract and then you just take it from there, or
I'm gonna be honest, if you're just getting started, I would recommend hiring a cold caller to generate the leads for you. But I would recommend you get it under contract. Like at least go through that process first so you have some experience with it. And then at some point you do want to hire people to do all of that stuff for you. But I would recommend you at least try it first. So that way when you hire somebody in that position, you'll be able to just in a better position to train them up.
okay, all right.
Yeah, that's what I would recommend. And then I also it's much easier to hire VAs to do this type of stuff for you. But I don't want to pretend that all you do is just put these people, in this role and then the business is gonna run. Like
Mm,
you're still the CEO of the business. You still have to run the business. So you still have to listen to their calls, make sure that they're, doing the quality of work. You have to make sure that they're meeting their quotas every day. You have to motivate them. You have to be a leader. I remember I used to have to every day, I would just send some positive messages to the guy that used to cold call for us. Because just imagine showing up to a 9 to 5 and, these people are in the Philippines working, out of their home, working overnight because they're time zone is like completely opposite to ours. So just imagine, them doing, cold calling all day or all night, which is not an easy thing to do. And they don't even hear from, their boss that's,
mhm.
so you just have to make sure that when you do this, it's not a situation where you just plug somebody in and the business runs. No, you still have to run the business. You still got to manage that cold caller. You got to encourage them. You got to correct them when they're going wrong. So that's yeah, just wanted to put that out there for everybody.
The direct mail,
Mhm.
do you think that's like one of the, I guess, the most effective ways, or you just need a combination of everything?
It's a combination of they're all very effective. What I like about direct mail is that you're not cold calling. Your phone is ringing 9 times out of 10 because somebody wants to sell their property. So when you're cold calling, you're literally calling thousands of people and just looking for the ones who say that yes, they want to sell. Majority of people are going to tell you, no, I'm not interested. Direct mail, I like that because when your phone rings, 9 times out of 10 is by somebody who says, hey, I got your letter. What's your offer? Every once in a while, you may get somebody that says, remove me from your mailing list, but majority is people asking, for an offer. So direct mail is the way I showed you guys is the cheapest way to do direct mail. Direct mail is if you do it if you outsource a company to send out those postcards for you, that's actually the more expensive way. It's more expensive than cold calling, it's more expensive than text messaging. Direct mail is like around 50 to 75 cents per postcard. So imagine sending out 5,000 postcards per month. You multiply that by 75 cents. I don't even know what that number is, but I know that's in the thousands somewhere.
Like 4,000, I'm thinking.
Yeah, so that's the type of budget that you want to have to do direct mail. If you're going to do it that way, if you guys are going to do it the way I showed you, it's going to be much, much cheaper and it's still very effective, but you just got to spend time, writing out those envelopes, writing out those names and numbers.
Uh,
So there's not one that's more effective than the other. It's just sometimes you got to switch it out. You might do direct mail for a year, maybe you feel just for whatever reason away, you're not closing as many deals, or okay, let's switch it out and do text messaging. Like we switch it up all of the time.
mhm.
But either way, you have to end up on a call with that person. So that's why I really do like cold calling.
Okay. All right.
Yep, yep. All right. So we almost done, you guys. Almost done. So onlinejobs.ph, that will run you, I would say so to pay the cold call, let's say you hire one cold caller, that'll run you about $880 per month to be exact. I know because I've hired them before. So it'll be about $880 per month. You also have to pay for a dialer. That's gonna run you about $200 per month. You also have to have the systems to pull your list. So Reonomy, PropStream, and then you have to skip trace your list. So hiring your own VA, like that's not the only expense. We're all running a full-blown business. All right. So it's a lot that comes along with it. So I just want you to know that if you go this route, it's a lot. It's still going to be a lot on your plate that you have to do, but at least you don't have to cold call. All right. So onlinejobs.ph, just this service alone will run you, I'll say about, let's just say 900 plus the dialer, 1,000. So for the VA and the dialer, that'll run you about $1,000 per month. And then you have to skip trace and pull your list. That'll run you about another $700 to $800 per month. So you got to have a budget for it. All right. The next one that's more expensive than onlinejobs.ph, but you won't have to do as much work is hire somebody like Kyle DIY Leads, where they actually run your lead management for you. So instead of you having to hire and fire a bunch of different VAs, they're gonna hire them for you. They're gonna train them. They're gonna do the quality control, listen to the calls. They're gonna pull your list for you so you don't have to have the list and then the systems to pull the list, to skip tracing. Somebody like DIY, they charge I want to say like around 2,500 to 3,000 per month. So it costs you a little bit more, but you don't have to manage the VA. You don't have to motivate them and encourage them every day. They're literally handling that whole lead management aspect. They're handling that for you. All you got to do is get the contracts. All right. So that's 2,500 per month. And then the most expensive is a program that we just started maybe about 30 days ago. That's our mobile leads and acquisition. So some of you guys may be familiar with it, some of you aren't. But for those who are in our high ticket mentorship program, we actually started something to where people who they just don't have the time or the resources to run a business all day, every day. You don't have the time to manage a VA, to sit on the phones, negotiate deals. So the mobile leads acquisitions group, we're finding the leads, we're generating the leads, we're pulling the list, we're getting the properties, and we're doing everything. We're just bringing you the deals. So that actually costs, I think that's like I think that's a $5,000 investment where all you have to do is pretty much invest, and then just wait for the leads to come to you. All right, so that's the most expensive. So as you guys can see, I went down from the cheapest way, which is free. It's not going to cost you anything, but you're going to spend hours per day. You're going to spend a good 5, 6, 7 hours per day just cold calling. All right, until you close your own deal. If you don't mind
question.
cold calling, like I said, you have deals for days, but I'm gonna be honest, it's easy to get burnt out trying to do it by yourself. All right. Then you could partner with somebody, have them cold call, you do acquisitions, you guys split the commission. You can hire somebody on Fiverr. That'll run you about $100 to $125 per week. It's not your employee, but it's an inexpensive way to get you out of that position. You can send out text messages. That'll run you about 500 to 600 per month. You could do ringless voicemail, direct mail. You guys have access to that direct mail template. I highly recommend doing that. You could even pay a VA if you don't want to fill out the envelopes and the letters. You could pay a VA for like 2 hours just to do that, that one job for you. Send out the letters and mail them out. You have onlinejobs.ph. That's where you hire your own VA, but you're responsible of managing that VA. You're responsible of making sure they get paid, the systems get paid for. Or you could join a team like ours, the mobile leads and mobile acquisitions and leads, where we pretty much bring the deals to you. All right. I don't know. Every time I do any class, I feel like I throw a lot at you guys. Let me know. Just give me some feedback. Like, did that make sense? Was that helpful? Let me know what questions you guys have. Any feedback, anything. Harry, did you have a question or was your hand up from earlier?
Yeah, I was curious. You've been mentioning about you pay them and you budget it and everything. How do you actually pay? Like for Fiverr, how do you pay them? You pay them monthly, you pay them daily, you pay them weekly,
On Fiverr?
pay them before they do the job, you pay them after they do the job.
Right. So if you use Fiverr, you're going to pay ahead of time. You're going to pay ahead of time because, again, you're just paying them to do a service. You can hire them as many times to do that service, but you're pretty much paying them to do a one-time service. So for Fiverr, you pay it ahead of time. And then if you like the quality of work, you can keep paying them. For onlinejobs.ph, you're not going to pay them ahead of time. That's your employee. So you could, have a contract filled out, but you pay them either bi-weekly or once a month, however whatever you agree to, but you pay them after they do the work. So you have them work for 2 weeks and then you can either do PayPal. There's like certain apps that you can use that you can send the money to them internationally. PayPal is like the most popular one. So that's how I usually pay when I'm hiring my own employee out. They'll work for 2 weeks. Actually, I pay them weekly. So they'll work for a week, then I pay them on Friday. They work for a week. I send them the money on Friday. With Fiverr, even though you have to pay them ahead of time, let's say, remember I told you, like, you put your phone number on there and you or none of your family get calls, you can dispute that and try to get your money back. Now, I don't know, I've never had that happen to me before, so I don't know how successful you'll be, but that's something that you can do with Fiverr. I've been in situations, not with cold calling, but with Fiverr, where I've had to dispute something that they didn't do the job that I hired them for, and I was able to get reimbursed for it. But yeah, with Fiverr, you pay ahead of time. With onlinejobs.ph, you pay after the work is done.
Isn't it extra fees because it's over? I mean, with Fiverr, isn't extra fees when you pay them because it's overseas? Isn't it like extra fees when you're paying like you're going through PayPal?
It's no extra fees. No, whatever they set their rate. So like the guy on Fiverr, he said $25 an hour. That's what I would pay 20. It's been a while since I used Fiverr. If there's any fees, it may be like tax or something like that, but it's not going to be too much. But yeah, with Fiverr, there's no, if there's fees, it's just like tax. It's not a lot. I know what you're talking about. The fees that you're talking about, when you hire somebody on onlinejobs.ph and you have to pay them through PayPal or one of those apps, there is some fees. So let's say you hire John and you owe him $200, you might have to send like 205 just to cover the fee so that he gets his full 200. Did that
No,
answer your question?
no, there's international fees because of the money, the money difference. You know, like if
I
you're
get
paying
what you're
somebody,
saying. Yeah, but we don't have to we don't get stuck with those. Like on Fiverr, whatever they tell us what their price is, and that's what we pay.
okay,
Yeah, when you use PayPal or one of these apps, like when you hire this employee, there's a little bit more fees involved, but it's not too bad.
okay.
What other questions we got? Queen Fedna, you got another question? I'm gonna get to you guys in the chat in a second. I do see some questions in the chat. Queen Fedna, if you can hear me, you could come off of mute.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. My question was, do you do anything to incentivize them or
I
for being?
do. Yeah, like when I on Fiverr, no, not on Fiverr. But if I hire a cold caller to work for me as an employee, on addition to the $5 an hour that they're gonna get paid, any deal that I get under contract, they will get a bonus.
Mhm.
So what I would used to do is any deal that I close, they would get a bonus. I think it was like $150 or 250. I would give them a bonus for every deal that I close. Some people, anytime you get a contract, you can give them like a small, like $50, and then anytime you close, you can give them like 150 or 250. But that's usually what they look for because that's an incentive for them to make sure that they send you like really good leads.
Okay. Okay, got it. And
Mhm.
I do understand the purpose of this, getting off market deals to cut out the middleman or the broker, but do you guys like have success with on market? Like as far as with finding like storage facilities or anything like that?
Um, I'm not gonna say we're not successful. We don't really look for on market because I have a partner who works a lot with brokers. It's just they want a lot more. So Ramel has said this before, like whenever a property hits the MLS, it's already been seen by a bunch of buyers already, and they've already passed up on the deal for whatever reason. So those necessarily aren't the best deals. I'm not going to say that you can't find a deal. Like I've actually gotten something under contract that I found on LoopNet, but you're just not going to get the best deals. It's going to be, the prices are going to be inflated because there's a middleman involved. They're going to want commission. So the more that you pay, the more money they make. So it's just a lot easier to negotiate when you're dealing with off market. You get much better discounts.
Right. Okay.
But that doesn't, so what I would say though is definitely build those broker relationships. Like when you speak with brokers, when you guys build your broker relationships, be clear on what you're looking for. Because if you just call a broker and say, hey, I'm a brand new investor, I'm looking to buy a self-storage facility, they're gonna send you a bunch of on-market deals. So let them know, like, I'm looking for off-market. If you come across anything off-market, please send it my way. Most of them will probably say, no, I can't do it. It's against my rules or whatever. But you will find some that will send you, they don't mind doing off-market deals because it's just a way for them to make money. So that's just one of those days where you kind of got to grind. Like if you go on LoopNet, whatever area that you're in, just go on LoopNet and call every broker. Like, let's say you live in Atlanta, you go on LoopNet, find a broker in Atlanta. I will call every broker on that list and I would have that conversation with them. Like, hey, I'm looking for specifically off-market facilities. I'm looking for this cap rate, this, whatever the case may be. And then I think I called one day, I called like 20 brokers. And out of those 20 brokers, 17 of them like hung up on me, told me no. But then I had 3 of them that were willing. They just had me sign a non-disclosure and they were sending me properties off market. So still build those broker relationships, and just be clear with them on what y'all are looking for. Who else we got? Queen Jana, you got a question?
Yes, hi, Rashida.
Hey.
I have two. When you were going through the price list as far as what we would pay, you said tax, the cost of the tax, but I didn't hear the one that's right after the tax.
So what it costs to, so I think so correct me if I'm wrong, I was saying that to send out direct mail, that's about 50 cents to 75 cents per postcard. When you're sending out text messages, that's, I don't know the exact amount, but it's like less than 1 penny per text. So you could just say like half a penny per text. When you're doing ringless voicemail, it's about the same. It's about maybe half a penny per voicemail. And I think that was it.
Right, was the ring list. And with the mogul deal evaluator, there was, you mentioned Podio at one time, or was it yeah, I think it was Podio. Is it still on the deal evaluator?
Say it one more time. What was your question?
Is Podio still part of the deal evaluator, or was that just a special for a moment?
That's not no, they've never been a part of one another. That's something separate.
Okay.
You're in the mobile leads acquisitions group, Chana?
No, I was with Brett.
Okay. Okay. All right. Yeah, that's separate. That's separate.
Okay.
Yeah, Podio is the CRM. That's the system where you hold all of your leads. I'm gonna show you guys right now. The mobile deal evaluator, that's the system where hopefully next week I'll be able to get, actually Friday. If you guys are come on class on Friday, I'm gonna show you guys. But this is Podio. Podio is a system where we keep all of our leads at. I just got a contract today, y'all. I just got a contract today. So I'm gonna actually, you guys in the mobile leads group. I don't know. You guys in that group will see it first. Yeah, I'll just wait. I'm not gonna show it right now. But I did get a contract today for a
Congratulations.
smaller storage facility. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. I can't wait to bring it to you guys. Um
Show us that check.
Man, I can't wait. I need something to go on my account sooner than later. But yeah, I just yeah, like you guys, this stuff works. I don't mean to go on a rant, but I'm just real big on like mindset and motivating because I know I know the mindset obstacles that you got to overcome with starting a real estate business or even just becoming a real estate investor. Like you guys hear me when I tell my story all of the time. Like I had no experience whatsoever and I started a real estate business and I was successful, it depends on who you are, but I would say I was successful in, starting my own business. And it's like now I was recently in a position, who was that, 2, 3 months ago, where went through a hurricane and I lost everything, like lost, and I'm still dealing with the aftermath of that. And when I had to move, this was like around October, I had to move. I lost my car, y'all, like lost everything. And so I'm like, okay, I need to get some money because with the work that I'm an entrepreneur, so it's like you gotta make your money every day. It just doesn't just come. So I'm like, dad, I done lost everything. I might as well get like a work from home job. I got this laptop. I don't have a car. So I was trying to figure out what to do. But then I decided like the same energy that I'm going to put 8 hours a day dealing with customer service stuff that has nothing to do with what I'm passionate about, I could put that same energy into doing what I'm doing right now. And I literally have just been betting on myself for like the last couple of months. And I wouldn't put everything on the line if I didn't think this was real. Like everything that I'm teaching you guys is real. Like all you got to do is just follow the blueprint. You can start your own real estate. Like I've learned a skill that I can take this anywhere and I can build wealth for myself or for my family. So everything. I'm learning how to be a better teacher to make sure that I'm giving you guys the information, and I want to make sure that it's digestible and that you guys are receiving it in a way that you can take action. But I just want to be the example. Like, it really works. Like, this stuff really works. I haven't gotten that one yet that's changing my entire life, but I've closed enough deals to know that this whole thing is life changing. Like, one deal, that's all it really takes. And I wouldn't put, after me losing everything, I trust this, everything I'm teaching you guys, I trust it that much to where, I didn't go out and get a job. I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna, for the next couple months, my foot is just on the gas, and that's all it's been. I've gotten a couple contracts within the last couple months. So don't mean to go on a rant, but I just want you guys to know, like, this is real. Like, the stuff that I'm giving you is real. Where people fall off at is when it comes to doing the work. I hear so many people say, when they're talking to me or Ramel, like, this is what they want to do. Like, they want their own real estate business. But then when it's time to actually get into the nitty gritty, the dirty work every day, spending hours evaluating deals every day, getting hung up on, getting cursed out, being told, no, I don't like your offer, try again, this, that, and the third. Like, you gotta have some type of endurance in you to keep going. Like, that's where people fall off at. A lot of people, I guess, you think you just want the deal to come to you, but it's not that easy. You really gotta grind and you really gotta put in the work, but it's so worth it at the end. So that's the end of my rant. Let me finish with the questions. King
One
Trey, did
last
you have
thing,
another?
one last thing, for the
Yeah.
laundromat and car wash, the videos, are they inside of school as well?
Which videos for the laundromat and
Mm.
car wash?
Um, just breaking everything down, the cap rate and things.
So no, that's not in school. I'm working on doing a class for that for you guys as well too. I'm just trying to get a little bit more confident with it. But yeah, as of right now, there's no video in school. But if you guys do come across a laundromat or a car wash, send it my way or send it Applene's way, or Naya, and somebody will help you evaluate it. But yeah, I'll start doing stuff like that in maybe about a month or so with the car washes and laundromats,
Okay, thanks.
as far as showing you guys how to evaluate it. I want to get more on point with that first.
Thank you.
All right, I'm gonna get to you guys in a second in the chat. King Trey, did you have another question?
Yeah. Just listening to you, you're saying that the better opportunities, the better deals are now on LoopNet, they're now on the market, they're off market.
Can you
And
say it? Say it. Your sound was going in and out. Can you say it one more time?
so you find the better deals are off market. So it's
The
not
better deals are off market. Yeah.
so we should be looking more using PropStream and skip tracing and cold call.
Yes, that's what I would recommend. Everything that I'm teaching you guys to find the deals by pulling a list. That's one way. Or like I want everybody to be honest with themselves. If you just don't have the time, partner with somebody to get all that stuff done. But if you just don't have the time to do that, then that's when you want to start reaching out to as many brokers as you can and letting them know, having that conversation. Like, I'm looking for off market properties. You want to start networking with other wholesalers. You can find wholesalers in your area, like real estate meetups, or wholesalers inside of Facebook groups, and let them know, like, I'm a buyer, I'm looking for whatever it is that you're looking for. If send my way whatever you come across. So if you're not going to set up your business, you really got to partner with the brokers, but just make sure that they're sending you guys off market deals or deals that make sense. You just want to let them know, like, your cap rate and your buy box so that the deals actually make sense.
All right, and
But
one more thing.
mhm.
What was the difference in those last two programs you were saying? You were saying that is really expensive, and then there was one right before that one that wasn't as expensive. But what's the difference between those last two?
The most expensive is the Mogul Leads and Acquisitions. I hope I'm saying it right. Mogul Leads and Acquisitions. This is a program that we just started. That's the most expensive. So that's the one where you make an investment. I think it's a $5,000 investment. I think that's what it costs. But you make an investment, and you pretty much we get the contracts, and you just decide, is this a deal that I want to close on or not? So we're gonna do all of the work for you. That's the most expensive. The one underneath that, that's when you're hiring your own VA to do the job for you, but you just have to make sure that you're managing the VAs.
Okay. Now the most expensive one, is that like a guaranteed close, or is that just like an investment? Like,
It's an investment. Yeah, nothing is, I can't say it's going to be guaranteed that you're going to close on anything because a lot of that depends on you. We have to make sure, that we're getting good leads. So it's not, what is going to happen is that you are going to have opportunities that come to you. Now, whether you close on something or not, that is a lot, that plays a part in that.
okay, all right.
Yep. Yep. Good questions. Queen Shamil. Hope I'm saying it right.
Hello,
Yes. How do you pronounce your name?
Shamil.
Shamil. Okay. How are you?
Fine, just stuck in traffic. Oh, question for you.
Uh-huh.
Okay, if I wanted to start off like just being a credit partner or put money into deals, can I start off doing that until I like really learn how to do the other stuff?
Yeah, that's called I think he called it a passive investor. So you just want to invest passively, until you learn how to become more active. Are you in the MMA high ticket program or are you just in school?
No, I'm in the MMA elite. Yeah, I'm in that
You're
one.
an elite. Okay. Are
Yeah,
you in the mogul leads and acquisitions group?
no, because I just started 2 weeks ago.
Okay. So yeah, once you get a little bit more time in with MMA, yeah, that's
Mhm.
definitely an opportunity for you
Okay,
to be a
and
passive investor. Yep.
can you do it with more than one deal?
If you have the funds available, yeah, you could do it as long as you have the available capital.
Okay, so let me ask you this. If I wanted to invest, but I mean, even like if I'm the person that's doing the SBA, is it like you can only do one SBA at one time, or how does that, do you know how that works?
That I'm not sure. That's a Ramel question. I could find out and
Okay,
let you know. But yeah, I have to find
okay,
out.
okay.
Um, with
Because good,
SBA, okay.
uh-huh.
So
Because
with
I
go
saw the
ahead, what
deal
you
that y'all working on in Decatur, because I live in Decatur. So I'm like, I think I know it's the one that y'all looking at. I'm like, dang, there's a lot of car washes and laundromats too that I've been looking at. So that's why I'm asking all these
okay.
questions.
Yeah, if you come across anything, try to look at it, but then send it to me so we can look at it as well. But to answer your question about SBA, you can do up to more than one deal, up to 5 million with SBA.
Okay. So I could know what I'm saying. Can I be on more than one deal using the SBA? Like if I working on one
Up
deal with
to
y'all, it be okay, up to
Yes,
5 million.
up to
Okay.
5 million. Yep.
Okay. Thank
All
you.
right. So we will
All right.
see you. I'm gonna remember your name. I'll see you in the Mogul Leads Acquisitions group in a couple of months. I'll see you in there in a few months.
All right. All right.
I'll
Thank
see
you.
a lot of I should see all of y'all in there at some point. All right,
Because
let's
every
keep
time
going.
you own something, I'll make sure I log in.
Okay, all right. I appreciate it. I definitely appreciate the support. All
All
right,
right.
cool,
Thanks.
cool. King Henry, you got another question?
Yeah. I'm still working my daytime job, so I'm driving around all day, and all I do I'm here in North Carolina. I'm not in Charlotte, but I'm all around, and I see for sale signs, for numbers. Who can I partner? I need a partner so I can give these numbers to, so we can make some hits, so we can make some phone calls. I don't have the time to make the call.
Okay, so let me make sure I understand. So you're driving for dollar, you come across properties all of the time. You just need somebody to actually reach out to the seller. Is that what you're asking?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So y'all heard Harry, sorry, you guys heard Harry. So I would put myself out there. If anybody wants to partner with him, now's the time to reach out. Harry, I would do exactly what you're doing right now. I would make a couple of posts inside of school. I'm not sure if you're in MMA, but if so, I would make a couple of posts inside of Telegram and just this is literally what I had to do. Like I was doing it on my own at first. And then when I joined Ramel's mentorship, I would just post inside of his Telegram group, like, hey, you guys, I have my systems going. I'm coming across deals. I just need somebody to partner with to do X, Y, Z. And I would have to make that post a few times and then I would get people to respond. So I would do if there's anybody in the chat, go ahead and let Harry know that you guys are willing to partner with him. Your volume was low, so I don't know if everybody heard you, but if you guys didn't hear him, he says that he drives for dollars in his area. He comes across deals, but he just, because he has a 9 to 5, he just doesn't have time to make the phone calls. So if there's anybody in here that wants to partner, so Roland said, let's talk. You guys can, message each other on school. Shamil, she just said that she's interested. So Harry, the same way you put it out here, I would put every live call, I would put that out there and then start writing messages until you find the right partnerships. So it's a couple people in the chat right now. 1, 2, 3. It's about 3 or 4 people. They couldn't hear you because your volume was low, but they said that they're willing to partner up with you. It's a few people in the chat saying they're willing to partner. So you guys connect with each other. That's what I'm encouraging everybody to do, to partner with each other and share some of these responsibilities. So you're not doing it, trying to do it by yourself. All right. All right.
So
Did
trust me,
anybody
I have
go ahead?
enough to go. I got ownership. I got people who own their own properties. They're selling their own properties. Listen, I got a book full of them. So get at me. Hit me up. Get at me. DM me.
Yeah, you guys message Harry in school and inside of Telegram. So you guys could partner up. And then if you guys come across something, all I ask is that you just try to evaluate it on your own. Try to evaluate it, use the deal evaluator. Let me know what numbers you came up with, and then we'll evaluate it together. I just want you guys to get good at doing the evaluations on your own. And then I'm actually well, I gotta save this for next week. So for anybody that's in the mogul leads and acquisitions group, I'm gonna we're gonna have a driving for dollars channel. I'm gonna show you guys a way that you can drive for dollars virtually for free, 100%. But that'll be next week. We'll go over that. All right. Any more questions? Any more questions? Let me see what I got planned for y'all next week. How was that? Let me know in the chat or come off mute. Let me know if you guys. It's not easy talking to a screen because it's like I can't see your faces. So let me know if it was valuable or if there's something that I'm not covering that you guys would like me to touch on, let me know. Does the cash flow collectors have access to your templates and scripts? They have some of them, Kevin. Like a lot of that stuff is inside of Thinkific. Some of the stuff is not in there. Some of the stuff that I put in there. So I would say about like half and half. Some of the stuff is inside of Thinkific. Thank you, Marquez. Thank you, Audrey. Annie, what was your question? You said you don't know if I answered. What was your question? Do you have your self-storage laundry? Not yet. I haven't. So Friday is the class for self-storage. I'm going to drop the link in the chat. We're going to deep dive on evaluating self-storage facilities. Even if you've taken my class before, I still would like y'all to join this one because I've never taught how to look into projections and pro formas. So that's what I'm going to go into on Friday. As far as the laundromat and car wash class, I haven't done that yet. That'll probably be next month, maybe. All right, all right. Thank you, Tyrone. Appreciate you. All right. So
Hey, Double R, can you hear me? This is Robin.
hey, Robin. Hey, yes, I can hear
How
you.
you
How are you?
doing?
Good.
That was amazing. You always over deliver, and it's so much. But I put a question in the chat. I think I asked like, will I have to get, because Ty is, well, she actually finished. I'm getting an LLC for Delaware State. I left New York, and we discussed it. It'll be a good thing to do. But when you hire the virtual assistants, would you have to get another LLC? Because I noticed like when you're filling it out, no. Okay. Like, do you work by yourself? Do you have employees? And I said, no.
Nah, because
No.
they're not on your LLC. Yeah, you don't have to worry about that.
Alrighty. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Mhm.
TC, I've completely forgot about that. Please, you probably already did it, but if you don't, please do it again. Message me your email address so that I can send you that list. Completely forgot about that. So message me again your email address so that way it's at the top of my messages. And then I'll see you. Is this the same Zoom link we use every Wednesday? Yes, it's the same Zoom link. Yep, same one. Okay. All right, cool. All right. So yeah, I guess I answered everybody's questions. So I'm looking forward to seeing you guys on Friday. I'm gonna drop the link one last time. If you guys want to join my bonus class on Friday, we're gonna do deep diving on evaluating self-storage facilities. That's gonna be this Friday at 7 p.m. Outside of that, you guys have an amazing week. I want to actually challenge you guys to do some work. This is what I want everybody to do. Everybody go in the school community. I want everybody to pull a list. And I either want you to skip trace and call this list, or I want you to send a direct mail template to this list. So everybody go in school, go in the school community, watch this video, go in the classroom, go to step 5. Go to how to pull a list from PropStream, watch this video, pull a list from PropStream, and I want you to either do one or two things. Skip trace that list and get the phone numbers. There's a video right here that shows you how to get the phone numbers. Either skip trace that list and get the phone numbers, and I want you to cold call, just practice. Just practice, just one day, just practice. Or if you don't skip trace it, use that direct mail template that I just showed you guys and send out letters to at least 500 people between now and next week. So that'll probably take you like one day. Either cold call for like maybe an hour or two, or spend a couple hours sending out direct mail letters. That's what I want to challenge everybody to do. Show me who the action takers are. All right. Show me who the action takers are. We are constantly looking for our next business partners, but you gotta, take some type of action. All right, so that's what I'm challenging. The action steps that I'm giving everybody is, again, go to school community, go to the classroom, step 5, watch this video on how to pull a list from PropStream, watch this video on how to get the phone numbers, and you could either cold call that list. I just want you to practice, or I want you to send out letters, direct mail letters to that list. We just got to start getting some action going. All right. Next week, what I got for y'all is, I think it would make sense, since we're talking about generating leads, we're going to get into the scripts and how to have the conversations with the sellers, what questions to ask them, what information that we need to get, so that we can do a thorough deal evaluation and make a good offer. All right. So that's what I got for y'all. You guys have an amazing, let's go, everyone. We got this. No excuses. You guys got it. I showed you how to generate leads for free, all the way up to how you can, it's paid. It's just gonna, it'll be an investment. All right. So you guys have an amazing rest of the evening. I will see everybody